If you've ever run a campaign that failed and you've been frustrated by it because you don't know where it went wrong and you've tried different things, whether it's social media, search engine optimization, pay-per-click, direct mail, telemarketing, trade shows, doesn't matter. If you've ever run a campaign that failed, I can virtually guarantee that you missed out on one of the 4 M's of marketing. And when you get these 4 M's right in a marketing campaign, you're guaranteed success. And most failed campaigns, you either missed one of these 4 M's or you came up short, meaning you either didn't have it in there, you didn't have it strategically correct. And you think about it, it's like the way these 4 M's work are like the 4 legs on a table. And if one of the legs is missing, you got a very unstable table or at least a rocky one, and that's not good. So the 4 M's of marketing, the first one is going to be market. Now, what I mean by market is the list or the prospect that you're targeting. And you gotta start here. You gotta think about who is my slam dunk ideal customer. And if you don't know, you're gonna struggle with marketing because the who that you're trying to target, the market, is gonna determine everything. So for example, if you're selling to end users or home users, which I have some clients that do that. Most of my clients sell B2B. But if you're selling to home users, I'm going to use a different approach to marketing than if I'm going to be selling to the CEO of a bank, let's say, or the CIO of a hospital, all right? Because those are 2 entirely different markets. They have different budgets, they have different concerns, different needs, there's different buying criteria they have. So the first thing you got to get super clear on is market, because where your marketing campaign may have missed is that the list that you targeted, the media, which is going to be another M that you used, is not one that your target market pays attention to. So market is number 1. The second one is going to be your message. What are you saying in your ad that is going to get their attention? And again, you could have a really good target market and have that dialed in, but if your message is off, if it's boring, if it's uninteresting, if it's confusing, and that I see a lot of ads, people trying to be cute and clever, and they completely miss the mark, so that prospects, when they see it, they don't really understand what you do and who you do it for. So the message has got to be extremely compelling, and part of that is going to be the offer you made. I talked about the offer in another video. We got to talk about the headline that you use and the copy that you use. So the message is really important. The next one is going to be media, and media simply is the method in which you take your message and you communicate to your target market. So media can be an email, a website, a Facebook post. Media is a telemarketing call, a direct mail piece. It could be a trade show. And the problem, this is the big problem, with most IT firms, when they start thinking about marketing, this is where they think of first. So they go, oh, we need to get more clients around here. I don't know, should we do Facebook? Should we hire an SEO specialist? Maybe we should try pay-per-click. And they start here without really getting clear on who they want as a customer and what they're going to say. Because if the media, doesn't matter, if like it's an email, everybody loves email, right? It's easy, it's free. You send out that, so everybody likes that as a media. But a failed message to the wrong market, I don't care if you send it via email or direct mail, if the message and the market are wrong, then the media won't matter. So you got to start with market, then you go to message, and then you got to pick the correct media. And again, going back to my example, if I have a client that is selling to the CEO of a bank or a hospital, you know, Facebook advertising might not be the best way to target that particular market, that particular prospect. That doesn't mean Facebook is wrong. It just means that that particular customer isn't on Facebook looking for his next or her next IT company, all right? So media, you gotta have your media strategy right. The other thing I'll add on is you want multi-media, because again, if you're only doing email, you're only doing Facebook, you're only doing one thing, you're missing out on a huge chunk of the market. And the final 4th M that you've got to have right is math. And what I mean by math is you've got to understand that response percentages, you've got to understand what a client is worth. So people ask me all the time, Robin, what should I spend on marketing? And they want some kind of easy formula, like 5% of gross revenue or something like that. And that is completely arbitrary, because before I can tell you what to spend on marketing, I got to know what a client's worth. I got to know the lifetime value. I got to know the return on investment for that particular asset, because getting a customer, you have to think like an investor. It is an asset. So you got to know math. So for example, if you are running Google pay-per-click, it's helpful to know that getting a 2% to 3% click-through rate is considered very good. It's also good to know that if you get on that landing page, about a 20% conversion rate is considered pretty good. The other thing you got to know is a lot of those leads are going to be not qualified. It's not uncommon for 50% of the leads you get to be unqualified. So you got to do the math all the way through and say, okay, we got to get this many clicks to get this much conversion, and 50% are not going to be worth anything, and then we've got whatever's left over, and then we convert those. So you've got to do that math. You've got to do that backwards planning. And again, a lot of IT firms don't know anything about their marketing metrics. They don't know anything about conversion. They don't know lifetime value. They don't know their sales funnel metrics. And when you don't know the math, you're going to make bad decisions. You're going to give up on campaigns that are actually working, and thinking they're not, because you're not paying attention to metrics. You're not looking at long-term value. So again, if you've ever had a campaign that didn't work, probably in one of these 4 areas, you screwed up. And so what I put together is a masterclass for you where I get into a deep dive in these 4 areas, and I'm going to walk you through how to pick a target market, what a good message is when you're targeting new prospective customers. I'm going to get into media strategies, and I'm going to talk about math. And I'm actually going to give you metrics, marketing metrics for other IT firms, so you start to get a sense for what good marketing is and what you can expect. So right below the video, there's a button, there's a link. You can click on it and get access to this masterclass instantly. And I'm telling you, this is going to be a game changer for you, because if you can fix these 4 things, there's not a single campaign that you can run that won't work. And I don't care if you're using Google pay-per-click, I don't care if it's email marketing, direct mail, telemarketing, it doesn't matter. When you know how to strategically line up these 4 things, all marketing is going to work. It's going to work better and more consistently. Again, click the link below. Get access to this masterclass instantly. This is going to be a real game changer for you. Thanks.